normal basketball.
That's a great point. There's no pressure, really. There's a lot of seniors out here that are playing their last high school basketball game. They want to finish on a good note, but I'm sure it was difficult for them as they thought about what happened last night. There were quite a few tears shed by both teams on the court, and disappointed and broken dreams, but yet I'm sure that the coaches prepared them to get bounced back for tonight.
Everybody knows this is the last year of the Sweet 16 format. Just a 2-year trial as it turned out, and in each year we've got a big school against a small school. Last year Staples Motley losing to Minneapolis North in the championship game again against Fertile Beltrami, and all the cliches and all the descriptions we used a year ago apply again this year to Fertile Beltrami.
That's exactly true. You know, Minneapolis North is a team that everyone expected to be in this game this year, but Fertile Beltrami is a team that no one expected to be in here. I saw some fans out front before the game, and they just said, we can't believe it. We can't believe we're here. They're unbeaten, and Neil Steffes has done a great job assembling a team behind Aaron Thompson that has went through a totally Class A bracket to finally meet AA here in the championship game.
And of course, Minneapolis North led by Khalid El Amin, who already has made such an impression in this tournament. He may be the best tournament performer we've seen here in a long, long while, and it'll be interesting to see how he closes out just his junior year. Remember, he's got another year to play in high school, and we look for the big AA matchup against Class A. Fertile Beltrami. We're off to a rough start. That's my old high school. They just drilled me with a basketball. We'll be back with the starting lineups in a moment.
There's nothing like a Jimmy to help you stay on top of things. Get some peace of mind. Get a Jimmy. GMC is a proud television broadcast sponsor of the Minnesota State High School Tournament.
Ours has amazing savings for all your spring projects. Get your lawn and garden in shape with tillers from Weed Eater. This garden tiller is $249. A rear tine tiller, $479. Keep your car or truck running strong with Quaker State Motor Oil. A case is $7.08 after rebate. That's just 59 cents per quart. Stock up on spring savings at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
From tournaments past, this great clip is brought to you by Great Clips for Hair.
With the score tied in the final seconds of the 1995 Boys Basketball Championship game, Minneapolis North star Khalid El Amin misses, but Kayvon Westbury puts in the follow-up with 1.5 seconds left, and Minneapolis North defeats Staples Motley for the championship.
This great clip brought to you by Great Clips for Hair.
You've got a big game to watch. You've got a big crowd to feed. And you've only got one bag of chips. Which is why Super America helps out in more ways than you can imagine. With row after row of munchies. Sandwiches to satisfy the hungriest crowd. And high-performance gasoline like Super America's 92 octane with Injector Guard Plus. Super America. When it comes to making you look super, we never stop.
Just about ready for the start of the third-place game between Staples Motley and Minnehaha Academy. Let's get the introductions from Bob Reed.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to the Saint Paul Civic Center for this third-place game of the Sweet 16 Minnesota State High School Basketball Tournament. On the scoreboard this evening, the visiting team, the Section 6A champions, are the Staples Motley Cardinals. And the home team, also a record of 28-2, the Section 4A champions, the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks. Introducing the starting lineup, alternating as usual by team. Ed Guard for Staples Motley, wearing the light-colored visitor jerseys, 5'11" junior, number 3, Jeff Yeager. And for Minnehaha Academy, wearing the dark-colored home jerseys, a 6'3" sophomore, number 13, Peter Kadrowski. At the other guard for Staples Motley, 6'1" junior, number 22, Eric Kelly. And for Minnehaha Academy, 6'3" senior, number 33, Eric Johnson. At center for Staples Motley, 6'5" junior, number 54, Chris Heyer. And for Minnehaha Academy, 6'3" senior, number 44, John Altemeyer. At forward for Staples Motley, 6' sophomore, number 31, Kyle Stevens. And for Minnehaha Academy, 6'4" senior, number 5, Mark Johnson. At the other forward for Staples Motley, 6'4" junior, number 43, Dan Otteson. And for Minnehaha Academy, 6'2" senior, number 34, Justin Nazneski. The Staples Motley head coach, Lynn Peterson, and the balance of the Cardinals official party, and the Minnehaha Academy head coach, Bill Carlson, and the balance of the Redhawks official party. The officials for this game are Mike Carr and Roger Neal. And I would like to introduce one member of each squad representing Staples Motley, number 4, Jamie Nichols, and representing Minnehaha Academy, number 12, Jason Kutchell.
Good evening. Welcome to the Minnesota State High School League State Basketball Tournament. We appreciate your attendance at this tournament, and we hope you enjoy it.
The state tournament is being played under the rules of Minnesota State High School League. These rules provide for fair play, good sportsmanship among players and coaches. As athletes, we ask that spectators promote the ideals of good sportsmanship, fair play, and respect for our opponents and the calls of the officials.
Thank you, Jamie.
The third place game between Minnehaha Academy and Staples Motley coming up. Minnehaha Academy losing a tough game last night to Fertile Beltrami. Staples Motley losing to Minneapolis North. Chris Heyers had a good tournament for Staples Motley, getting a lot of inside points in the 12-foot and in range. And then Mark Johnson has had a great tournament for Minnehaha Academy as well. There you look at Dan Otteson. And the rest of the Cardinals. Janet, there is this for the Cardinals. If they win here tonight, the last 2 years in the state tournament, they'll be 6-2 with their only 2 losses coming against Minneapolis North. And there's hardly any disgrace in losing to Minneapolis North the last 2 years.
No, that's true, especially if North does go on to win. They can say they lost to the defending or the eventual Class A&AA state champion.
John Altemeyer receiving the tap. Nazneski swinging the ball around to Johnson. And inside to Kadrowski. And he lost it under the basket. And Kelly came away with it. Otteson. Kelly leans into the lane, off the glass too hard. The rebound comes back to him and picked up by Yeager. Yeager misses a 3, rebounded by Mark Johnson. in the Minnehaha Academy starting lineup. Brent Watson is not starting, and John Altemeyer is. Altemeyer had such a great second half last night. And he gets the rebound, or had it, before it was slapped away by Yeager. The ball tied up. There's a whistle and a foul in the lane.
Altemeyer, number 44, is 6'3". Gives them a little bit more inside strength. Brett Watson, I'm sure we'll see a lot of time tonight at 5'11". Staples Motley, of course, has two big inside players in Chris Heyer and Dan Otteson, 6'4" and 6'5". That may be why Bill Carlson made that change.
Also, might be because Altemeyer's a senior and Brett Watson's a junior. And perhaps Bill Carlson thought, well, hey, Altemeyer played so well last night. Go ahead and give him a start in his last high school game. 2 free throws for Kudrowski. And it's 2-0 Minnehaha Academy. Otteson looks inside. Heyer's covered. They are looking at Heyer. Yeager gets him the ball, but that is the second Staples Motley foul.
Kudrowski, number 13, there was fronting Heyer, and Heyer kind of had an elbow in Kudrowski's back, and I think he must have pushed off with that as he made his move to the basket for the lob pass.
Kudrowski to Eric Johnson. And now Mark Johnson. Tipped by Stevens. Kudrowski has it slapped away by Stevens. Altemeyer picked up the loose ball. Mark Johnson with a drive, too strong. And Mark Johnson is fouled on the rebound, and the Red Hawks are doing a great job on the boards here in the opening minutes of this third place game. Foul is on Kyle Stevens, his first, the third Staples Motley foul. Last night the fouls went against the Red Hawks. So far in this game they're going against the Cardinals. Altemeyer with the left hand, short. Kudrowski with a follow-up and another Staples Motley foul. That will send Kudrowski to the line. Foul again on Stevens, his second.
Red Hawks doing a nice job of hitting the offensive boards hard, as you mentioned, and Peter Kudrowski has a guard getting involved in the rebounds. He's an excellent free throw shooter.
You can see Lynn Peterson shaking his head. I don't think he's happy with the way the Cardinals have started this game. They usually play hard from start to finish. They were overmatched in last night's game against Minneapolis North, but they're being out-hustled here in the opening minute. 1 of 2 for Kudrowski. He has all 3 Red Hawk points on the Banville scoreboard.
Things change through the years. Time and progress march on. And though the land hasn't changed, how you work it has. But one thing has stood the test of time. Banville. It's still the broadleaf herbicide for corn, for control that lasts from spike to canopy. Sure, things change. Banville just hasn't needed to. Banville. Now more than ever, it's still the best.
How did Plymouth Voyager get to be the best overall value in minivans? It all starts here. Use clever ideas, like cab-forward design, built-in loads of safety, and exclusive easy-out roller seats. Make it roomier, quieter, and offer the only driver's side sliding door. Then make it the most affordable. Plymouth Voyager, starting at $17,100.
3-0, the Red Hawks have the lead.
KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights for the 1996 Minnesota State High School Basketball Tournament. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and account of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television and the Minnesota State High School League. I'm sure you had to read those disclaimers when you were the Duke in the Dark in your St. Cloud radio days.
Please. That was in another life. The basket by Kelly, just a 2-point basket. And now a turnover. The Cardinals will get the basketball. You don't need to be bringing that stuff up.
Well, you made a comment about my footage being in black and white just because it's been a few years.
Well, it has been a few years, though, hasn't it?
Well, we did have color videotape back then.
That was videotape, too, wasn't it?
It was not film.
Oh, whistle and a hold underneath. And that'll be the first Red Hawk foul. And the foul's on Kidrowski.
Foul is on 13. Kidrowski, his first foul. And the team's first.
Bill Carlson in this game after a disappointing loss last night, but what a tournament it has been for the Red Hawks to defeat 2 #1 teams to get to the Final Four.
New London Spicer, of course, they knocked them off the first night. Class A #1 ranked, and then Eden Prairie went down. Minnehaha Academy's first state tournament appearance.
Yeager fakes the 3, fakes the 2, finds Addison underneath. Heyer wrestles the rebound away. It's tied up, and the Cardinals will get the basketball. And the Red Hawks will go to their bench. And Brent Watson does come into the game, as does Dan Olson and Peter Hemberg. Those have been the 3 bench players for the Red Hawks in this tournament. And it will be interesting to see how the 2 coaches play this game and how often they go to their bench.
Again, this is the 4th game in 4 days, which is a lot of basketball, as you see Eric Kelly hitting from the outside. Lynn Peterson, of course, has not used his bench very much in the tournament.
Kelly has all 4 Cardinal points. Kidrowski has all 3 Red Hawk points. Altemeyer with a rebound. Watson misses. And the rebound tipped by Heyer, and there's another Red Hawk foul. The Red Hawks still do not have a field goal in this game. And the foul called
25, his first, and the team's second.
On
Brett Watson?
Brett Watson, I beg your pardon. That is his first and the team's second.
Chris Heyer, the featured key player for Staples Motley, number 54, posting up inside. He apparently has been kind of suffering with some kind of a bug and unable to eat and not feeling very good. But nonetheless, he was able to put together quite a performance against North last night.
Kyle Stevens with the basket. And Staples will run off 6 in a row. 3-point miss by Olson. And another foul on the Red Hawks on Altemeyer. So the first 4 fouls go to Staples Motley, the next 3 to Minnehaha Academy. Did you ever have to play in the 3rd place game?
I did once, and actually it was my senior year in high school at New York.
See, I love bringing that up. I ask you
bring that up every year. So you hadn't forgotten.
Oh, no. Every year I ask you that.
And it was very disappointing for us because we were hoping to win our 4th straight state championship title. We tied the Edina boys, winning 3 in a row. So our record, I think in the state tournament was about 11-1 over those 4 years. But you remember the 1.
Yeah.
Just as much as you remember the 11.
Kyle Stevens picked up his 3rd foul. 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. He will be on the bench for a while. Into the game for Staples Motley, Craig Noska. Noska, one of 2 seniors on the Staples Motley team. Now a whistle and a foul called on Addison. That's what's impressive about this long run for Lynn Peterson and the Cardinals. They got here last year, and of course had Blaine Yeager, but they were a very young team last year, and they don't lose a great deal through graduation this year with just 2 reserves, Jim Goff and Craig Noska, as seniors this year. Mark Johnson from the line, and all 4 Red Hawk points have come from the line, and Bill Carlson's probably saying, hey, how about getting some of those free throws last night? We could have used them last night. 6-5. The Cardinals in front.
Both of these coaches have been in the game a long time. You see the turnover there on Yeager. Bill Carlson has been a head coach for 11 years. Lynn Peterson 21 years. And I talked to Lynn Peterson last night after their loss to North, and he said, well, it's not the end of the world. You know, life goes on, and it's disappointing, but I'm sure for some of the players it seems like the end of the world at the time.
Well, clearly both teams have a great deal to be proud of this year. Getting to the state tournament is one thing. Altemeyer with a miss, rebounded by Otteson. But within this tournament, they each have something to be proud of. Staples Motley beat another AA team to get to the Final Four. And Minnehaha Academy beat the two #1 teams in the two classes. Heyer gets his first field goal.
That's a great point, because it really was an excellent field this year. Lots of surprises throughout the tournament.
Altemeyer so strong inside. Another foul on Staples Motley. This time I think it'll be on Otteson. That'll be his second. And that's the 7th foul already on the Cardinals.
Foul is on 43. Otteson, his second foul. And the team's 7th. Altemeyer shooting 2.
Been pretty impressed with his play in this tournament. And Bill Carlson is going to miss John Altemeyer. He played a great second half coming off the bench.
Well, if he hadn't collected the rebounds that he did, I think he had 9 rebounds and scored, they wouldn't have even been in the ballgame in the second half. Yes.
The Red Hawks have scored all their points from the line on the Van Pelt scoreboard.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
I got over the puppy.
You don't need an appointment. Just go to CarX for brakes instead of the dealer, and you'll save.
Enough of new waiters.
You'll get quality parts and save big on brakes.
I'm gonna buy silk tie.
He saved $65.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
New hats for everybody.
And she saved on her exhaust at CarX.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save? Save a bundle, call the CarX man.
Keith and Stephanie Brennan each opened a portfolio IRA, not just because it combines various accounts into one plan with one easy-to-read statement. They open portfolio IRAs because they can include a wide range of options from both First Bank and FPS Investment Services, which gives them the flexibility to go in whatever direction they ultimately decide to go.
Grayson's over in the corner. Dick Bramer and Janet Carvin. We've got the good seats. Center court here. The Cards are #1 with their fans. Staples Motley making it to the Final Four in the Sweet 16 format in each of the 2 years. And I think everyone realizes this is the last year that we'll have the Sweet 16 tournament. And it's interesting to note that if you looked at the Final Four entries in the 2 years, Cardinals turn it over. Johnson picking up the pass from Noska, and he puts up a 3. No good. And the Red Hawks still are without a field goal. Watson to Johnson to Olsen. And they're still without a field goal. Johnson goes baseline, finally breaks the ice. He's got 4 points, and the Red Hawks have the lead.
Well, better shot for the Red Hawks also. They've been launching from 3, and they just haven't been hitting, so they need to be a little more selective. That time it worked. You know, last night was just the second loss for each of these teams. Dick, Minnehaha Academy just lost once to De La Salle during the season. Staples Motley lost once to Fergus Falls, a AA school. So Staples Motley has only lost twice in both AA schools.
Altemeyer with a steal. Amberg firing it across. Johnson takes a three. Rebounded by Heyer. They're talking about the Final Four entries in the last 2 years. Of the 8 Final Four entries, 5 of them have come from Class A. Minneapolis North obviously making it twice. Lobbed inside, tipped, and off the glass it goes to the Red Hawks. 5 Staples Motley turnover. Amberg from 17. Rebounded by Heyer. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. So those who wondered whether Class A would be fairly represented in the Final Four in this Sweet 16 format, certainly that has been the case. Kelly with a nice basket inside. He's got 6 of the Cardinal points. Cardinals dropping back, playing zone. Johnson fires up short from three-point range. Noska gets a loose ball. And Staples Motley has the lead after the first 8 minutes on the Lincoln Mercury Dealer scoreboard.
After one half of football, San Francisco leads New York 540 to 310.
In the future, it won't be just how hard you play, but how good your sports drink works.
Please make your selection.
With a third more carbs than Gatorade and B vitamins to unlock carbohydrate energy. All Sport is not just a thirst quencher. It's a body quencher.
Isn't that new 300-pound ball?
Yeah, here you go.
The rewards of Lincoln have been recognized by the most discerning Americans. For the 3rd year in a row, the Robb Report has named Lincoln Town Car one of the 5 best luxury cars in the world. Plus, Consumers Digest just named Town Car a 1996 Best Buy. And now, with this $399 a month lease, plus an additional $500 for current Lincoln lease customers, Town Car is an even better buy. Lincoln Town Car, what a luxury car should be.
Staples Motley leading by 1 point after the first quarter. The Red Hawks got just 1 field goal in the opening period. We expect that tonight's championship game will fill some seats. Not all of them, certainly, but we expect a bigger crowd for the 8 o'clock game. Wisniewski misses, and the Red Hawks are now 1 of 15 from the field.
Well, they really haven't shown any patience at all or any kind of inside strategy. Everyone has just been pretty much launching the first shot that they see. We saw the good defense there by the Red Hawks forcing the turnover. Jeff Yeager took a couple of steps as he saw in the corner of his eye somebody coming up in front of him.
Bob Hazuka in the game for Staples Motley.
Again, if you're hitting, it's one thing to take those shots, but when you're not, then I think you need to be a little more picky and look to drive and look for shots in the paint.
Wisniewski tries again and misses again. Rebounded by Kelly. Mark Johnson got knocked to the floor. Now he gets back into defensive position.
Staples Motley, though, on the other hand, has had trouble getting things going offensively as well. So
Eric Johnson called for a foul. His first, the 4th on the Red Hawks.
33 in red is Eric Johnson. His brother Mark is number 5, his twin brother.
Inbounded to Bob Hazuka, just a junior. Been pretty much an iron 5 for Lynn Peterson throughout the tournament. But he's going to his bench in this 3rd place game. Kelly to Otteson for 2. Ottison's first field goal. And the Cardinals lead by 3. Johnson from 10. Nice play and a nice shot over a double team. 6 points for Mark Johnson.
Red Hawks basket to number 5, Mark Johnson.
Yeager double teamed. He's tied up. And the arrow pointing Staples Motley. It's direction.
Minnehaha Academy has not pressed a lot full court, but this full court pressure is bothering Staples Motley a little bit, and perhaps he did that because they saw Staples Motley struggle with it against North last night.
Kelly has 6 of the Cardinal points. Higher turns, and he's got a couple of spots high in the lane that he likes to shoot from. That's one of them. 4 points for Chris Higher. Top of the circle, Kudrowski hits a 3. Just the second, make that the 3rd field goal for the Red Hawks. And a foul called on Kudrowski, his 2nd. We haven't seen Staples Motley play much zone defense in the last 2 state tournaments, but tonight they're playing quite a bit of zone.
And even though they are in a zone, the Red Hawks need to again try to penetrate it and not just be content to launch from the perimeter. Staples Motley has been able to get inside a little bit here lately. Kudrowski doing a nice job on Higher. You see him fronting him there.
Kelly short with a 3. Long rebound picked up by Nosneski. $14 apiece in the 3rd place game. Kudrowski for 3 more. Short. And the rebound tip from Kelly to Yeager. Yeager throws it up. No good. Otteson with the follow-up for 2. He's got 4 points. We have not seen many jump shots hit the back of the rim. We've seen an awful lot of them hit the front of the rim. Maybe that's a symptom of having to play 4 games in 4 days. Hamburg for 3. And he hits. And the Red Hawks have the lead thanks to a pair of 3-pointers, one by Peter Kudrowski, the other by Peter Hamburg.
Peter Hamburg, number 3 there, guarding Yeager. Had a great evening last night. He shot well from the field, a couple of big 3-pointers.
Yeager finds Otteson for 2 more. 6 for Dan Otteson inside. He had a tough night last night against North, and their quick feet and quick hands inside. A much better performance so far for Dan Otteson. Kudrowski hits another one from the top of the key, and he's got 9 first-half points. Higher from 8 feet, and Higher now has 6 points. 3:20 to play in the half. Nearly stolen by Higher. Hamburg from 15. 5 for Peter Hamburg, just a freshman. And he's hit back-to-back jump shots. Yeager with a baseline cut. Zuka looks inside. And a foul called on Higher. That is his 2nd.
Both of them coming on the offensive end while he was trying to establish his position. He's been in a crowd, though, having A couple of Red Hawks trying to sandwich him down there on the low post. They know how dangerous he can be. He's got to keep his head, though, despite that defensive pressure, and not retaliate by throwing any elbows or...
Because of the early fouls for Staples Motley, it's a costly foul because the Red Hawks are in the bonus already. Kedrowski will have a 1-on-1. And the Red Hawks have their largest lead now. Kedrowski 5 of 6 from the line on the First Bank scoreboard. It's a 4-point Red Hawk lead.
Throughout history, Ford F-Series has set the standard for quality that stands out, for strength that stands apart, with the 96 F-150, 250, and 350. For value that stands alone, with savings of over $2,200. Lease a 96 F-150 for $209 a month with 10% off. Now we carry those strengths into the future with the 97 F-150. Ford F-Series. Strength after strength after strength. For trucks that stand the test of time. See your Northland Ford dealer.
Menards has the right products for your home. Save on our entire selection of door and window hardware from Right Products. Door closers are just $3.98. Storm and screen knob latches only $4.49. Get the best lock for your money with Harlock. All styles are on sale now, including passage lock sets with bright brass finish, now just $5.98. Find the best for your doors at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to the Saint Paul Civic Center. A Chris Heyer fan. Heyer will be back with the Cardinals next year. In fact, their entire starting lineup will return. They'll be in the AA bracket of the 4-class format next year. Be some pretty good teams in that AA bracket. New London Spicer will be a 2A team, I believe. Cardinals trail by 4 to the Red Hawks. Kelly slipped as he pivoted, and the Cardinals turn it over again. Number 7. The Red Hawks have turned it over just twice.
Red Hawks really play tough man-to-man defense. That time Heyer came over to set a pick for Kelly, but they just fought through it and switched, and it was tough for them to even get anything out of it.
Johnson with a long 3. Kelly tips the rebound to the corner and then recovers it. Zuka's pass tipped away. Otteson saved it for him. Zuka getting more playing time in place of Kyle Stevens, who's just a sophomore, normally a starter for the Cardinals. He did start. Kelly hits a 3. He has 9 points, and it's a 1-point game. Kedrowski. Rebounded by Hemberg. Too strong. Otteson gets the rebound, lost it on the floor, and Eric Johnson pulls it away. Johnson put it on the floor, lost it to Yeager, but it falls free to Kedrowski. Now a shot by Kedrowski, no good, and Yeager works his way with the behind-the-back dribble around Kedrowski. Kelly, long 3. Rebounded by Eric Johnson. Less than a minute to play in the half. Mark Johnson banks it in. He has 8 points.
Nice move by Johnson that time to split the defense and get a little bit higher percentage shot up. Nice soft touch off the glass.
Cardinals appear to want one shot here. Probably from Eric Kelly. See what he can do one-on-one against Johnson. Blocked by Johnson, but there's a foul with 2.2 seconds left.
Johnson plays tough defense, and he's got a few inches on Kelly also. But he's been on him very tightly tonight. I'm sure Eric Kelly has seen some of the toughest defenders in the state tournament here. There you can see the shot fake and the foul.
Second foul on Eric Johnson. Jim Goff, the other senior on this Cardinal team, will come in. As will Rob Opine. Kelly going to the line. This is the first Cardinal free throw of the half.
For the Red Hawks, 12,
Jason Cuttrell, a senior for the Red Hawks, comes into the ball game for, I believe, the first time in the tournament. 2 free throws for Eric Kelly. And that's the end of the half. The Red Hawks lead it by 1 at halftime. Both coaches going to their benches quite liberally in the first 16 minutes, because this is the third place game with the Red Hawks in front. Let's go to Jeff Grayson.
Thanks, Dick. I'm with Minnehaha's Bill Carlson. Coach, your thoughts on the first half? What do you think? Pretty close?
I thought it was a good first half. We played some good defense. Got a lot of kids in. We need to play a lot of kids. We were kind of tired today, so it's working out well. Altemeier's doing a good job inside. I'm happy with it. I'll take the lead. You know.
How do you treat this game? I mean, a little different kind of circumstances. You guys looser? What do you tell them?
Yeah, I think we're a little bit looser. I think they still want to win. I think both teams still want to win. So, I mean, we go out, we try to win the basketball game, and we try to have some fun, too. But we're in the Final Four. It's like being in the state championship, but, you know, being in the third-place game, I guess. That's the way we look at it.
All right, thanks, Bill. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's Bill Carlson of Minnehaha Academy. Dick?
Thanks a lot, Jeff. That's the view from the GMC Viking Land Cam at the Saint Paul Civic Center, and we'll have more in just a moment.
The Thompsons got their home equity installment loan from First Bank, not just because they could finance their car and deduct the interest, or get convenient ways to manage their money, or pay for the new addition to their home. They chose First Bank because the bank loaned them 100% of the equity in their home, which let them consolidate their finances and their family all at once.
For special rates and no closing costs, apply by phone today.
Dairy Queen announces the ultimate super value meal. Start with 66% more beef than a Big Mac, sizzling bacon, 2 layers of cheese, 2 fresh tomato slices, lettuce and zesty sauce. With fries and a drink, it's just $3.49. It's the DQ Homestyle Ultimate. The ultimate super value meal, just $3.49. Only at Dairy Queen. For hot eats, cool treats, think DQ.
There are bounties in life you couldn't begin to measure, and yields that take a generation to know. For that other crop coming up, there's Basis post-emergence herbicide. Basis has won past control of the grasses and broadleaf weeds that worry you most for about $12 an acre, half the cost of most pre-programs. Basis, 'cause life's a harvest, and corn isn't all you're raising.
I have 21 horses to look after and over 25 snow-covered acres to take care of.
Michelle Schuler runs a boarding stable, and she couldn't go a day without her Chevy Blazer.
A lot of people trust me with their horses. I trust the Chevy Blazer, and it's been a real asset around here.
Right now, lease a Chevy Blazer for only $2.99 a month for 30 months. A Blazer for $2.99 a month just makes good horse sense.
It's easy to see why Blazer puts the competition out to pasture.
The Chevy Truck 100,000 Mile Club. Only at your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealer.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
I got over the puppy.
You don't need an appointment. Just go to CarX for brakes instead of the dealer and you'll save.
Enough for new waiters.
You'll get quality parts and save big on brakes.
I'm gonna buy silk tie.
He saved $65.
What you gonna do with all the cash you saved?
New hats for everybody.
And she saved on her exhaust at CarX.
What you gonna do with all the cash you saved? Save a bundle, call the CarX man.
This is a Minnesota 9 News Update.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Jarvis in the Minnesota 9 newsroom. A robbery suspect is dead, the latest homicide in Minneapolis. An off-duty officer working at the Riverview Supper Club in North Minneapolis shot and killed the suspect, Keith Jackson. Two officers were working at the club when they heard shots in the parking lot. They saw the suspect, chased him. Jackson apparently turned on the cops, pointed his gun at the officers. One officer fired, killing Jackson. The two officers are on administrative leave tonight. Still no word about the whereabouts of 15-year-old April Buchner. The teen disappeared Tuesday night. A trucker found her knapsack in Oklahoma 2 days later. Her family fears something terrible has happened to the girl. We are now under a winter storm watch across northern and central Minnesota. Here in the Twin Cities, we're almost guaranteed some rain or snow tonight with a low of about 35. Tomorrow, a 90% chance of rain or snow mixed, and it'll be windy with a high of 40. We'll be back with another news update after the game.
If you asked Minnesota 9 News photographers what their most difficult assignment is, they'd probably say when our reporters are on the loose. Most convenient things in the last 24 hours? Takeout last night. And if you really want to see what goes on behind the scenes, you could learn to operate a boom mic. Or you can catch the entertainment report on Minnesota's most convenient newscast.
And now let's make that random call with today's $10,000 question. Who shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel? Hello, for $10,000. Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. Your time is up.
Got milk?
After one half of football, San Francisco leads New York 540 to 310.
In the future, it won't be just how hard you play, but how good your sports drink works.
Please make your selection.
With a third more carbs than Gatorade and B vitamins to unlock carbohydrate energy. All Sport is not just a thirst quencher. It's a body quencher.
Isn't that new 300-pound ball?
Yeah, here you go.
I wonder if the neighbor's got an ALS-resistant weed. Now, that's what I call a resistant weed. Hey, old Buck's good, but with Bucktril, we manage ALS resistance before it's a problem. Right, boy? Want to know more? Drop by your Bucktril dealer soon.
Welcome back to Championship Saturday night. Minnehaha Academy leads Staples Motley by 1 in the third-place game. And then, of course, the championship game will be coming up. One of the great things that makes the state tournament so special is the tradition and the nostalgia. And I have three gentlemen here who personify those words, especially the tradition and the nostalgia, from the 1946 Lind High School team that really captured the fancy as you look back in the record books of the Minnesota State basketball tournament. I have Wally Fisher, Pat Clark, and Don Hammer, a 50-year reunion right here at the Saint Paul Civic Center. I'll tell you what, Pat, I'll start with you. First of all, what is it like being together with the guys and being back here at the tournament?
It's great. I think the biggest thing about basketball now compared to then, people had to leave home and come here to watch the games. They don't have to do that anymore. You can sit in your living room and watch all afternoon and all evening if you want to. And I don't know, it's great to be back with these guys, and it's a wonderful thing just to be back and watch some more games. And I don't know, I'd like to say one thing. When we were up here 50 years ago, we were such a small school, we didn't have a band. So Redwood Falls offered to send their band up.
Did they come down? They
came up first night. We won the first night, so they decided, well, we'll stay for the second night. We won that. They came back for the third night. I'm sure the kids didn't mind it, but it must have cost the parents and the school districts some money. But we really appreciate having them up here. The bands, they made a lot of noise just like this one is.
Well, you guys made a lot of noise in the tournament, and Wally Fisher, I'll ask you this. Let's go back a little bit and take us through the tournament. A smaller school. A lot of people they thought of you as the underdog, but as Pat just said, you made it all the way to the championship game.
Well, we were lucky. I say we had a good coach. Beisel was the reason we went. I mean, we had the coach, and if a guy's got a coach, you got half the thing won right there.
First game, let's swing it over here to Don. First game you played Crosby, correct?
Right.
What do you remember about that game to get you to the semi?
Well, of course, Crosby was touted as being a running team, you know, and they felt that they could run against Lynn, and that's all that we had done is run all the time, and we did prove that we could run better than they did.
Second game, you beat Stillwater to get to the championship game against Austin. When you look back at this team, what sort of things do you remember about what made your team special?
Well, I think just the camaraderie of all of the boys that are on the team, and they just played together constantly. We played every Saturday, every Sunday in Wally's barn or Cap's barn, and we just played basketball all the time. The girls they were on the shelf, and we played basketball.
Well, Pat, I'm curious, maybe the same question I just asked. I just asked Don, your memories of that team and what you thought made that team special to get to the championship, losing to Austin, but getting all the way to the championship for Lynn.
I think the biggest thing was our teamwork. You know, we played together since we was down in grade school, and we just knew where everybody was going to be on the floor. And I don't know if Don mentioned, but we used a fast break, and we scored a lot of points off it. But the fast break, you got to have rebounds. So in the championship game, Austin had a pretty big height advantage, and we didn't get enough rebounds, so we couldn't keep up with them about what it amounted to.
But you made it to the championship game. Before I let you guys go, Wally, what is special about getting together with all the guys here, being together after 50 years of this team?
Well, just talk over old times. That's about it.
Gentlemen,
I got one thing to say.
Yes, sir.
They shouldn't put 4 classes. They should get rid of that and 1 class, and then take winner take all.
Winner take all, 1 class. I have a feeling you guys agree. You agree?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
You agree?
I think that draws the most interest.
Excuse me, I lost my breath. Certainly the Lynn team, a great example of how much fun a 1-class tournament can be, but this year's going to be it. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and have a great 50th reunion.
Thank you.
All right, that's Wally Fisher, Pat Clark, Don Hammer from the 1946 Lynn team that made it all the way to the championship game. Back with more Game Time in a moment.
Want a souvenir of the NCAA championship so you'll always remember the upset? No, Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Series 1 versus Ford Taurus GL. The Supreme took charge early thanks to its more powerful engine. Then it scored big with a great list of standard features. And finished with a great lease offer that couldn't miss. No. It's your money.
Karen Yeager's a First Bank customer, not just because she can transfer funds by phone through Fastline, or use her Checkster card instead of writing checks, or get an account summary from a Fast Bank ATM machine. Karen's a loyal customer because only First Bank puts so many ways of handling her family's money right at her fingertips.
UPN 9's Game Time coverage of the Minnesota State basketball tournaments is brought to you in part by Dairy Queen, Great Clips, and your Heartland Chevrolet Geo dealers. Star Trek Voyager, Monday at 7 on UPN 9.
Welcome back to the Saint Paul Civic Center. The Red Hawks leading the Cardinals in the third place game, 26-25. Took the Red Hawks a while to get their first field goal. In fact, they did not shoot the ball well at all in that first half, despite the fact that they have the lead. 7 for 27 from the field.
That's right. They started off really slow, 1 for 14 for 7% early in the first quarter. But Staples Motley has had some problems of their own with turnovers, just not taking very good care of the basketball. And I think fatigue might be a factor in both of those things, but also I think both coaches probably at halftime want to settle their teams down. it's anybody's ball game at this point.
Here we thought both coaches were being kind-hearted to seniors, letting them play more, and Bill Carlson said, no, we're tired. We got to get some new players, some fresh legs into the tournament. Peter Kudrowski, I should say, had 11 points for Minnehaha Academy to lead them to the lead here at halftime.
Peter Kudrowski has such a nice looking shot. Nice high arch and backspin, and he hasn't hit particularly well from the field through the earlier games, but tonight showing that he can be a scoring threat. He is only a sophomore. Look for good things for him in the next couple of years, and this is his teammate, Mark Johnson, making some things happen. He has a couple of nice drives to the basket.
And 8 points in the first half. And for Staples Motley, Eric Kelly led them, as you might expect, with 11 points, but Dan Otteson chipped in with 6. Getting his good looks at the basket, close to the basket. Otteson finding Kelly for a 3-pointer, his only 3-pointer of the first half. Again, Kelly with 11, Otteson and Heyer each have 6 for Staples Motley. So it's a 1-point ball game here at halftime. The winner wins the 3rd place trophy in the Sweet 16 tournament in 1996. And we'll be back with the second half in just a moment.
There are bounties in life you couldn't begin to measure, and yields that take a generation to know. For that other crop coming up, there's Basis post-emergence herbicide. Basis has won past control of the grasses and broadleaf weeds that worry you most for about $12 an acre, half the cost of most pre-programs. Basis, 'cause life's a harvest, and corn isn't all you're raising.
Get ready, baby. Here at Dick's Picks to win it all during Mercury Madness. The all-new, all-star, all-world Mercury Sable, now with awesome financing or big cash back. Mercury Villager, this team busts a lot with this mega bonus, 1,000 cash back. Mercury Mystique, a primetime player with big league savings. Follow Dick's Picks during Mercury Madness, and you can't miss.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury now.
Imagine that, baby.
Cover your walls with quality Glidden paint from Menards. You'll find a finish to suit any room. Spreadwall has a flat finish that's ideal for bedrooms and dining rooms, just $7.44 a gallon. Spread Low Luster gives a low gloss look to kitchens and baths, now $10.58. If there's a special color you'd like, Glidden's color matching computer will get the color you want. Menards has you covered with Glidden paint.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to the Saint Paul Civic Center. If you've not been here, you've in person, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage with Minnehaha Academy 26-25 over Staples Motley at halftime. We've seen an awful lot of basketball over the last 2 weeks, and we've got one game left after this game, the championship. Minneapolis North against Fertile Beltrami. You can see how poorly the Red Hawks shot the ball from the field, but they did shoot free throws well, 9 out of 10. And again, Bill Carlson, if he could, would rather have had some of those free throws in last night's game when Fertile Beltrami went to the line so often in the game and made a high percentage of their free throws to get to the championship game tonight. Look at the turnovers, 10 for Staples Motley, just 2 for the Red Hawks. In last night's semifinal game, the Cardinals turned it over 10 times in the first half against North. We'll see what happens here in the second half. The Red Hawks will start the half with the basketball. And both teams start the second half with the game's starting lineup. And the Cardinals again dropping back into a 2-3. The Red Hawks hit 3 3-pointers, but again, they shot the ball so poorly from the outside. So probably a good play or a good way to play your defense with a zone defense. And Kozneski misses the first shot of the second half. Unless or until they hit from the outside, you may as well play zone. Clog up the middle. Higher. Nice feed from Yeager. And Stevens took a tumble in the lane. Higher now with 8 points. And I think Stevens got tangled up with Kelly, and they both look a little banged up. Kelly holding his right ankle. I'm not sure where Stevens suffered his injury, but they both remain in the game. Stevens, a little too strong with the layup after the steal, but there's a whistle and a foul called on Yeager on the rebound. First foul on Jeff Yeager, and obviously the first foul of the second half. Eric Kelly took a bump to the mouth and I think mopped up a little blood on a towel. Wants to stay in the game. Kelly tips the pass over to Stevens. Kelly for three. He certainly is not the all-around player that a Khalid El-Amin is, but he's one of the best shooters in this tournament.
He definitely is. He's great form, and an injured mouth that doesn't even affect his shot.
Don't shoot with your lips.
That's right. He did struggle a little bit against North, but they really were out to shut him down also. But in the tournament overall, he's shot so well.
Cardinals get the first 5 points of the half, and now Johnson loses it on the floor, picked up by Heyer. Stevens lays it in, and the Cardinals are out to a quick start in the second half. Stevens with 4 points.
When Staples Motley not taking good care of the basketball, Minnehaha Academy's poor shooting didn't really hurt them. But if they can start converting on this other end, they can extend their lead.
Johnson misses a three. Kelly for three more. Watch out.
Bill Carlson's going to want a timeout.
Yeah. They score the first 10 points of the third quarter, and it took them a little over 2 minutes to run 10 up on the board.
If your life is full of demands, get the vehicle that meets them best. Safari from GMC. With the most towing and cargo capacity in its class, it's the only way to get your show on the road. Get the ultimate in family vans. Get a Safari. GMC is a proud television broadcast sponsor of the Minnesota State High School Tournament.
Jim Munoz isn't a First Bank customer just because they gave him his first checking account, or the car loan that he wanted, or the school loan that he needed. Jim's a First Bank customer because they gave his dad the business loan that he needed to grow the company and hire the right talent to make it prosper.
Cardinals score the first 10 points of the second half, and now it's the Redhawks who are turning the ball over.
A couple of careless passes there have created some opportunities, and Eric Kelly draining a three right there to give Staples Motley a 9-point lead.
I don't know that anyone for Staples Motley has touched the ball other than Eric Kelly or Kyle Stevens. It sure seems like they're just single-handedly or double-handedly taking control of the basketball game. Dabrowski over to Watson, who's in the game for the Redhawks now. Eric Johnson to Watson. Watson is fouled in the perimeter by Yeager, and I think they're going to give Watson 3 free throws. Second foul on Yeager and the Cardinals this half.
Foul number 3, Yeager. Second foul.
Well, fouling a three-point shooter is never a good idea, but especially not when Minnehaha Academy has been struggling from the field.
3 shots.
And the second half starting, unfortunately for Bill Carlson, the same way the first half did. He can't seem to get his team to get their field goal shooting improved. Their first points of the second half come late in the half, and they come from the free throw line. The free throws and a 10-point Cardinal run. Heyer will go to the free throw line. The foul called on Kidrowski. Eric Kelly may have to come out of the game because he is going to the bench at every opportunity to get the blood wiped off his mouth. That's a tough call. When you teach defense, you teach your players to do exactly what he did there. That is, go straight up. There's Kelly. Higher with 9 points. And now 10. .5:10 to play in the third quarter. Eric Johnson, by the way, now with 3 fouls. This is Hamburg with a miss. Rebounded by Hire. Watson with the tip, and now a foul called on Stevens. Four fouls now on Kyle Stevens. Lynn Peterson going to have to make a move here, but he will not get Hazuka into the game during the dead ball. Mark Johnson hits a 3. He's got 11 points. Yeager, nice pass to Otteson. Might have been blocked by Eric Johnson, and the Redhawks come away with it. Otteson got trapped right underneath the basket. Johnson for 3 more. Rebounded by twin brother Eric. Both Johnsons short. The ball goes out of bounds to Staples Motley. Now Hazuka will come into the game for the Cardinals, replacing Stevens. Redhawks double teaming the ball. And now Kelly to Yeager. Bumps his way into the lane, makes himself some shooting room, and gets the basket. 8 points for Dan Otteson. Higher with the defensive play for Staples Motley.
I don't think Dan Otteson realizes how strong he is sometimes. If he posted up even with more authority.
Great pass from Kelly inside to Hire. What a beautiful pass from Eric Kelly to Chris Hire.
Those two have been working it all year long, and I guess my other point was just that if Otteson could contribute a little more on the offensive end especially, it would really open things up for his teammates, because he has such strength and around the basket.
Eric Johnson picking up his 4th foul, so now he'll have to sit down, and Dan Olson comes off the Red Hawk bench for Bill Carlson. 3-point play for Chris Hire.
Chris Hire hoping to play basketball in college. He's only a junior, of course, and would like to have a career in the computer field, he says.
Kidrowski buries a 3. He's got 14 points. A great game here tonight for Peter Kidrowski. Hazuka to Otteson, and he spins one in. And Otteson now with 10 points. The Cardinals have 3 players in double figures. Dan Olson short with a 3 to the corner. Kelly gets the rebound to Otteson, back to Kelly. Zuka. Yeager inside. Otteson bumped by Olsen. That's the third